And now turn right. Ooh, so nice. So nice. Guy in front of me, same idea. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dork side. It is I, your friendly neighborhood dork in the road. As we ride, I thought it might be kind of neat. As I just bought a new bike, as you may know, this beautiful Kawasaki Versus 650. It's a 2016. It's a fantastic orange color that I really like. This median thing is new. They just added this. Oh, good. Too many people getting killed out here. And I wanted to talk a little bit about some things to consider when you're thinking about buying a motorcycle. Now, this is not intended to be a video about the things to look at when you buy a used bike specifically. So it's not about look for oil leaks and you know, make sure that the thing starts right up, and check the battery voltage and all that stuff. Not about that. More like what you want to think about when you're choosing a bike to go look at in the first place. So how to find the right bike for you is really what I'm thinking about. Because I thought I had done that when I bought my first bike, and to be honest, truth be told, I got pretty close. I did pretty well. That bike was 85% perfect for me, I think. So it could have been a lot worse, but you know, I ended up wanting to upgrade, and so some of that's experience. Like, you got to ride before you know what it is that you want, and I think I needed to. So I'm glad that I did that. 5 things to consider when you're trying to choose the right bike for you. The most important thing for me was comfort. Comfort can mean how comfortable the seat is. Comfort can mean how high it is off the ground. Comfort can mean the riding position. Comfort also means how comfortable are you with the bike. Because if you're a brand new rider and someone's like, hey, take out my CBR 1000 RR, you're not going to be comfortable on that motorcycle. You're going to be scared shitless. At least you should be if you have half a brain, because that's a lot of bike for a brand new rider. So are you comfortable sitting on the bike? Is it comfortable? And you gotta just sit on the damn thing, and you gotta consider where are the pressure points and where are your legs and what kind of position are you in. If you want a cruiser, then your feet are often far forward, and sometimes that puts a lot of pressure on your lower back. Sport bike, your feet are behind you and you're leaning forward, and so you got to be comfortable in that position. It's not, I wouldn't say it's an exceptionally comfortable position, but people get used to it. And then there's a naked bike, or a standard, or an adventure tourer like the Versus here, which is the upright position and more distance between the seat and the peg, so it's more comfortable on my knees personally. So what kind of bike are you comfortable on, and how comfortable do you need to be with your ability to get your feet on the ground? This is a top-heavy bike that's high off the ground, which would have made me really nervous when I first started riding, but now that I've been riding for a little while, it makes me less nervous. But I originally went with the CB500F because it had 30 seat height, and I could put full feet on the ground very comfortably. Comfort, number one. How comfortable are you on the bike, and how comfortable do you feel with the bike? Number 2 is performance. Most people, I'm not going to say nobody, but most people don't buy motorcycles to putt around at a leisurely pace. We can do that in our cars. We can do that on a moped. Most of us buy motorcycles because we want to enjoy riding them, and sometimes that means either going fast in a straight line, or leaning in and carving up some twisties, having a good time, taking corners fast, riding with your buddies or riding by yourself, just enjoying the beautiful scenery. So, and even if those things are not a consideration, you may want to ride at highway speeds, you may want to ride over a mountain, and you need performance to do those things. And so you have to decide what performance level is acceptable for you. What performance level are you looking for? Do you want to be able to like ride wheelies and kick ass all the time and be faster than anything on the road? And you have the experience and maturity to handle it, then a sport bike, 600, 1,000 liter bike is something you might want to think about. If you want to be comfortable, but have a reasonable amount of performance and be able to take corners and have a good time, but also be comfortable, like I said, a bike like this. This is why I got this bike, because it's still fun to ride, but it's comfortable as hell. And maybe you want off-road performance. Maybe you want a bike that does it all. You want to be able to ride trails. You want to be able to ride on the highway. And you're okay with a little bit less comfort than, or you just trade comfort for versatility, and then a bike like, if you want to ride trails like a DRZ, or fuck, is it raining? It's not supposed to be. DRZ or DRZ 400S or 400, something like that. Might be worth looking into. DR 650, even a KLR 650. You want to go Kawasaki, a little bit heavier bike. So what level of performance are you comfortable with, and what level of performance are you looking for? Because that's important. Number 3, and this is maybe obvious to you, but something you have to think about is price. Like, what's your price range? Because you may want a 1200 GS, and then you're like, oh hell, those are $14,000 or whatever. Can't afford that. So you got to look for some. So the 1200 GS has the performance and the comfort you're looking for, but it's not in the price range. So you may want to find another bike that has performance and the comfort, but is in your price range, like a V-Strom or a Versus, something that can do everything that bike does a little more cheaply. Or maybe you have more. Your price range is bigger, and you should think about a nicer bike with more features, which is something we'll talk about later. But that price range is important, and it will help you determine whether you're looking new or used. You can do a lot better on the used market if you're willing to be patient and wait for the bike that you want, maybe drive somewhere to find it, because you buy a new bike and you know, the depreciation off of a 1-year-old used bike versus a brand new bike, you're going to save $1,000 or more and get basically the same bike. So something to think about is price. How much money are you looking to spend? And not just on the bike itself, but you got to look at the maintenance schedules. Like, hate to harp on Ducati, but they definitely have more aggressive maintenance schedules, and it can cost more because the dealerships aren't as nearby and whatever. Versus a Japanese bike that, you know, you put oil in it once a year and tires on it every 3 years and replace the plugs every 3 years, and you're probably good. So cost of ownership is low, but you got to factor those things in because money is important. And insurance too. God, call your insurance company. I've been surprised by that more than once. Things that you wouldn't expect. You're like, what? How much is insurance on this bike? So money. Unfortunately, it always comes down to dollars. Number 4, features. What do you want your bike to have? And it kind of goes hand to hand with price, because if you want ABS, for instance, you're gonna pay $5,000–6,000. I mean, that's a pretty entry-level bike, but you're gonna have to go a little bigger. I mean, you can't get it on a very, very super entry level. If you want traction control and power modes, you know, that's gonna be a bigger, more expensive bike. They just don't tend to throw those features on the lower end bikes because people are trying to save money, or else they wouldn't be buying one of those bikes in the first place. So you got to think about that. What kind of features do you want? For instance, I hate to keep using this example, but it is what inspired it. The 650 here has ABS, which is something I really wanted because I don't have it on either of my other bikes. It's a nice feature, gives you peace of mind. I don't overly rely on it, but practice with it. It can help you, save you. Yeah, it would have been nice to have traction control, but I also feel like on a 650, you don't need it. I don't know, it doesn't have enough power to get crazy away from me like a liter bike might, or even the Versus 1000 has traction control and power modes, but it's got a lot more powerful engine, like 120 horsepower. This one's like 75, I think. So features are important. Features and capability, they kind of go together too, as well as price. All these things tie together. It's almost like I did that on purpose. A wink. This light should really be a yield turning left. I don't understand why it doesn't. I should just fucking go. This thing doesn't turn. I'm gonna. This bike ought to have enough metal to set off this stoplight detector though. Stoplight detector. Vehicle detector at the stoplight. And number 5, and this is something that, I don't know, people consider subconsciously, but I don't know how often they consciously consider it, is the appearance of the bike. Like, you want a bike that you think looks cool, don't you? I mean, isn't that the point? Otherwise, why the hell are you buying it? I don't know, like, that wouldn't be my number 1, that's why I put it at number 5. You know, if I would take a higher performing bike or a better deal over one that looked just like I wanted it to, but man, there's just something awesome about knowing that when you get off your motorcycle and leave it in a parking lot, you're gonna have to turn back and look at it 4 or 5 times because it's just that cool looking. So I went and I was walking around and I saw this bike. I was like, damn, that one looks good. And I had to ride it. And I rode it and I ended up really enjoying it. It was almost love at first sight. Something catches your eye. I'm not saying that's the only reason you buy it. Like I said, it's, you know, 5th on the list, but take a look at it, man. Consider it. If there's something there, there's something to that. Something to knowing that you love the way your machine looks, the wow factor. You can't put a price tag on that. So those are 5 things to consider when you're thinking about choosing a motorcycle. Performance, comfort, appearance, features, and price. And you really got to look at those 5 things. There are a lot of other things to consider too, but those are the 5 that if you're trying to narrow your search down I would start with those to figure out what kind of bike is right for you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our top 5 things to consider when choosing a motorcycle. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Maybe toss a subscribe on there if you learned something new and you're interested in further motorcycling shenanigans. Thank you for watching, and as always, please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.